Katie, where you get the truth about what's really going on all around America. Today I want to talk to you about the current administration lowering our drug prices so that they are affordable for all Americans. Why is it that we go to other countries to get the same drugs that we get here in America, yet they are way lower in price? So last month, Trump has signed an executive order to lower drug prices for Americans. This was a historic step to deliver low prescription drug prices to American patients. The president signed 4 executive orders on drug pricing that lower the cost on prescription drugs, including insulin and EpiPens. I'm not even going to attempt to say the word epinephrine. I think that was actually right. But we want to ensure that Americans are getting the lowest price possible for our drugs. We shouldn't have to be paying way over than what we can get in other countries for the same exact drug just because we're in America. So there's 6 things that I want to share with you that the executive order from the president instructs the HHS to take action on. The first one is to end a shadowy system of kickbacks by middlemen that lurk behind the high out-of-pocket cost many Americans face at the pharmacy counter. Under this action, American seniors will directly receive these kickbacks at discounts in Medicare Part D. In 2018, these Part D discounts totaled more than $30 billion, representing an average of savings of 26 to 30%. Secondly, it requires a federally qualified health center, or the FQHC, who purchase insulins and EpiPens and the 340B programs to pass the savings from discounted drugs directly on to the medically undeserved patients. This will increase access to life-saving insulin and EpiPens for the patients who face especially high cost among the 28 million patients who visit these healthcare centers every year, with over 6 million of whom are uninsured. The third thing that the executive order instructs the HHS to do is to finalize a ruling allowing states to develop safe importation plans for certain prescription drugs. Fourthly, it authorizes the reimportation of insulin products made in the U.S. if the Secretary finds reimportation is required for emergency medical care pursuant to Section 801D of the Drug, Food, and Cosmetic Act. The fifth one out of 6 says it needs to create a pathway for safe, personal, important through the use of individual waivers to purchase drugs at lower cost from pre-authorized U.S. pharmacies. And lastly, the executive order instructs the HHS to take action to ensure that the Medicare program that the seniors pay are no more than the costly Medicare Part B drugs that any economically comparable OECD country, ending foreign countries freeloading off the backs of American taxpayers and pharmaceutical investments. This order took effect in August of 2020. Now, President Trump has already done more than any other president to lower the cost of drugs, says the Secretary of the HHS, and no president has ever taken action on drug prices as bold as anyone for these individual actions that the president has done. But this executive order will deliver billions of dollars in discounts directly to patients at the pharmacy counters. They will offer safe, low, imported drugs for Americans and the best deals for America on highly expensive drugs, and direct discounts passed on to patients on important drugs from community health centers. Now, the president's efforts to cut drug costs are about making it affordable for American patients to be in control of their own health care choices, and the care they decide on with their own doctor. We believe that everybody should have access to low-cost drugs that are needed for each individual's health reasons. Now, this executive order does what President Trump came in office with a mandate to do, to disrupt a failed Washington status quo. Thanks to this bold step, Medicare will no longer be powerless as a price taker, and the American seniors will no longer have to foot the bill for the world's innovation while other countries take a free ride. Thank you, Mr. President. Now, access to affordable medicines is a public health priority, and bringing more drug competition to the market and addressing these high costs are top priorities for the Trump administration, the HHS, and the FDA. Now, the FDA is undertaking a series of policies and scientific initiatives to help patients get access to the safe and effective treatments that they require, according to the FDA Commissioner, Mr. Stephen Hahn. He says, "We'll work closely with the HHS to implement the executive order as it relates to the FDA." He says, "We remain committed to advancing policies outlined in the Safe Importation Action Plan as quickly as possible, as we continue our broader work to increase drug competition to benefit American consumers." And ending with this action done by our president will ensure that the most vulnerable among us will receive the greatest benefit from both the healthcare center and the 340B drug pricing programs, according to the HRSA administration, Mr. Tom Engels. He says the executive order will further help those two programs work together to see to it that the health center patients have access to both high quality primary care and life-saving affordable medications. There's hope, people. And now at the counters, as you've already have seen over the last couple months, drug prices are lower. So we say, God bless President Trump, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.